Nowadays, air travel is more common than ever before. And with that comes the fun and gains of sharing an enclosed space with strangers at 36,000 feet. How do you feel when the person in front of you reclines their seat right after takeoff? How about an excited 4-year-old that's constantly kicking your seat all the way to Paris? Well, stick around as we count down the 10 most annoying flight behaviours as voted for by the American flying public in this year's survey.
Can you hear the thunder? Oh, you better run, you better take cover. Oh.
Now, there are quite a few annoying behaviours that did not make this top 10 list. Silently passing gas and removing your shoes on a flight. So let's take a look at what was deemed an even worse habit. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts as we prepare for takeoff. Boarding from gate number 10, not paying attention to the safety demo. Now, this is one of a couple of questions that women found more annoying than men, with 70% of women listing it as a pet peeve as opposed to 60% of men. Now, maybe that comes down to our male sense of invincibility. But airlines have tried to lighten up this routine over the past few years. Air New Zealand brought out some epic safety videos around 10 years ago, featuring The Lord of the Rings.
We have lighting in each aisle to guide the way out if it's dark. Your crew are now pointing out your exits.
Richard Simmons.
Hi, everybody. In the next 3 minutes, we're going to work hard, work out, and get you fit to fly.
And even this one with Betty White.
This is my cousin's grandson and his buddy from Air New Zealand. They were telling me about their crazy safety videos.
There was also the famous Delta Airlines no smoking, wagging the finger that made some headlines too. Heading to runway 9 for departure, not turning on airplane mode. Now, this was the other one that had a large difference between men and women, with 12% more women found this annoying than what men did. It's also interesting to find that women are twice as likely to turn their phones onto airplane mode than what men are. Thank you, ladies, for keeping us all safe in the air. Airplane mode was created around 20 years ago to prevent cell phones from potentially causing interference with airport radio towers. In the 90s, pilots noticed a strange clicking sound in their headsets. They realized it was coming from passenger cell phones, which were just becoming popular at the time. Consequently, they banned the use of cell phones during flights. Now, because air traffic control needs to have a constant direct line of communication, it's thought that cell phone signals could interfere with these delicate systems. Whilst it's not believed that they could cause actual harm, it is possible that they could create delays and cause confusion for pilots, especially at the crucial times of takeoff and landing. Leveling off at number 8, exiting the aircraft before the row in front of you. You've just taxied to the terminal and the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned off. All of a sudden, there's a stampede. People at the back of the aircraft are running to the front, desperate to get out. It's like a Black Friday sale at Macy's. There is no prize for getting off the aircraft first. Relax, wait your turn, and you'll be at your destination before you know it. You know, I always like to laugh at the ones that push straight past you initially to only see them again at the baggage carousel, waiting for their bags to come out while I'm already about to go through customs. Chill out, guys. You'll get there in the end. Seated in aisle 7, eating strong-smelling food. You know, I once sat on a flight next to a woman who decided to eat canned tuna that she bought on board the flight. It wasn't just one can, it was 3 cans, one after the other. Now, that's a smell that makes me want to vomit at the best of times, but stuck on a 10-hour flight, yeah, no thank you. There's a decent-sized list of foods that you should try and avoid whilst flying, including beans, burritos, spicy food, and fast food. And it all comes down to the courteousness of your fellow travelers. Those beans may not smell while you're eating them, but if you're halfway across the Pacific, the cabin will be smelling something a little off. Now serving drinks at number 6, using both armrests when someone is next to you. 74% of people say this is a problem, and according to frequent flyers, there is actually an unwritten etiquette involved here. So the aisle seat gets extra leg space and the aisle armrest. The middle seat gets both armrests, and the window seat Well, it gets the window, meaning an extra place to lean against, and the window armrest as well. But even with these rules, we cannot agree, with 52% of people saying no, they can't have both armrests in the middle. Now leveling off at number 5, we've got leaving trash in the seat on exit. The average airline passenger leaves around 3 pounds of trash on every flight. There are stories of dirty diapers and insulin needles being found in seat back pockets, and it's generally a fairly dirty place to store things. So I would strongly advise against leaving food in there. Now, many travelers are also afraid of using them due to deplaning and realizing that they left their passport or their valuables in the seat pocket. Not talking from experience, like a flight to LA that I did that once. Preparing for descent at number 4, watching TV or a movie without headphones. Now, 80% of people said this was a problem. Just because you're looking forward to binging on The Bear on your 12-hour flight to Tokyo doesn't mean that Mrs. Jones in seat 24B is wanting to hear Kami getting mad in the kitchen. It was so high on the list with many people agreeing, and it's become an ever-increasing annoyance the more that we become reliant on portable entertainment from cell phones to laptops. And as far as movies and shows with nudity, 51% of people listed that as very high on their annoyance scale as well. Landing on runway 3, getting drunk. Country star Dierks Bentley had a hit back in 2014 about this very thing, but in some countries it's actually a crime to be drunk on board an aircraft. Some airlines don't even allow alcohol on board at all, primarily due to the rules of the land of where they are based. And when it comes to flying, the safety and security of passengers and crew members are of paramount importance. It's no wonder that this complaint is listed so high on the list. Disruptive behaviour due to excessive drinking is one of the main reasons for flight diversions. And according to the FAA regulations, a drunk passenger is not allowed to board a flight. Airlines have the authority to deny boarding to anyone who appears to be intoxicated or impairing the safety of other passengers. Airlines also have the authority to refuse service of alcohol to passengers if they suspect that they are already intoxicated. Former Australian cricketer David Boone set a world record in 1989 by drinking 52 cans of beer flying from Sydney to London. I'd suggest not trying to break that one these days, or you could end up being offloaded somewhere over the Indian Ocean. We're taxiing into gate number 2 now, and it is leaving your seat during turbulence. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. That's not the sign to run to the bathroom quickly. Turbulence can be, in extreme circumstances, very dangerous. In May of this year, a Singapore Airlines flight from London to Singapore encountered severe turbulence over Myanmar, resulting in the death of one person and injuring over 100 passengers. Flight attendants were in the middle of serving breakfast when the turbulence became so severe that passengers and objects became airborne inside the cabin. Clear air turbulence is, according to researchers, becoming worse with climate change. So sit down, buckle up, and listen to instruction from the flight crew. We have now reached the pinnacle of aviation annoyance, according to the American flying public. Coming in at number 1, letting your child play in the aisle. Now, apparently this is even more annoying than kicking or bumping the seat, stinky bare feet, or fellow passengers with bad body odor. 87% of those surveyed placed this one at number 1. Going for a quick walk up and down the aisle while there's no food or beverage service, it's okay. But letting your child sit in the aisle and play, probably not the best idea. Not only is it disruptive to other passengers, but it can also be dangerous. Getting arms or legs caught in the seats, other passengers tripping over them or spilling hot drinks on them, and then turbulence could also be an issue. There are plenty of resources available online for planning ahead when flying with your kids. Pack a few comfort items in their carry-on, purchase them some water when you get through security because it will help them with their ears due to the cabin pressure. Get them smartphones or tablets, make sure they're fully charged, and bring them plenty of snacks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed your flight with us today. A big thank you to our loyal, frequent subscribers. And please remember to like and share this video. And thank you for flying from down under to down south. Don't rush the exits now.